good evening. It is your girl ChucTayyy here with RETV Sports. You can catch me here every Thursday giving you an update on everything sports in this COVID world that we live in. So let's just jump right into it. As of Tuesday afternoon, 2 of the 5 marquee college football conferences have decided that they are going to postpone the 2020 fall football season. Those 2 conferences, Big Ten, Pac-12, which ultimately leaves 3 big conferences left, the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12. This decision was not unanimous. It was commissioners and boosters and players and coaches and sponsors and school presidents all sitting around arguing, trying to decide, do we want to give these players COVID or not? So the decision for these 2 conferences was made, met with a little bit of backlash, met with a little bit of support. Kind of depends on who you ask. If you ask me, I think it's a good decision. We want to make sure that these players, that these coaches are safe. Student athlete that's a thing. Don't get me started on the student athlete thing, but all in all, it was decided that they are going to postpone the season and it may turn into spring football, but that has yet to be decided. I really think that the eyes are going to be more on those remaining 3 conferences and how they going to act. What y'all about to do? What y'all going to do? What y'all going to do? And how they are going to decide to move forward with this season. As we know, COVID is continuing to spread, continuing to grow. There are asymptomatic people. There are non-asymptomatic people. I have an English degree. Don't ask me about diseases and such things. But nevertheless, what COVID is doing, of course, is infecting multiple people, families, non-family members, and they just want to make sure that these players who are heaving and all of that around people not wearing masks, you want to wear a mask and a helmet? No. So anyway, just want to make sure that they are safe, but I'm really, really interested to see how the ACC, SEC, and the Big 12 going to act because, again, my opinion, y'all just need to follow suit. I know that disrupts all other fall sports. Football for most of these programs is kind of the meal ticket. And how does that look for the rest of the year? How does that bring in funds for the school, so on and so forth? We get it. We got it. But we got to keep these players alive. We got to keep them healthy. Or there ain't going to be no 2021, 2022 season, or it ain't going to be it. That ain't it, son. So I guess we'll have to continue to see. Moving right along. So the NBA has decided that the bubble is going to have what I am now calling a bubble VP. So basically it's going to work exactly like MVP, MVP and first team, second team, all NBA. That's where I was going. All NBA is going to work. There's going to be a 5-player first team, a 5-player second team. What position you play doesn't matter. It is what it is. And then there will be what I am calling a bubble VP. For all intensive purposes, it's going to be Devin Booker. We'll get back to that though. So the bubble VP and the first and second team all will be determined based on what has happened in bubble play. So if your player was getting off around Christmas last year, All-Star break, before all of this COVID started happening, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So don't think that bubble play is just for play, because it's not. So anything that's happening in the bubble is what will determine what happens with the first and second team and bubble VP. So like I said, for all intents and purposes, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Devin Booker. And if it's not, there's a problem because Devin Booker is getting off. Okay, that not OFF. AWF, off. Okay, first of all, the Suns are 7-0 in bubble play. 7. I just needed y'all to see my nails right quick. 7 and 0. Goose egg, nada. Out here busting boys. And Devin Booker, who dropped 35 on the Sixers on Tuesday afternoon, has had 5 of his last 7 games, 30 points or more. His career average with the Suns is only 22.4 points per game. So yes, it sounds like 8 points, 8-ish points, depending on how many he had. Doesn't seem like a lot. But when you've played over 100 games, and maybe to include or not to include the 7 bubble games, and you just increased so high after chilling for the last however long we've been in COVID. I don't even know what month it is now. But I think that's saying something. I really do. And the Suns, especially for them to be so low on in the seeding, like low-key fighting for 8th, that's crazy. Devin Booker needs to be the bubble VP. And I don't really see why there would be any argument. But we'll put a poll in the Instagram story and see what y'all think. Do you think it's going to be Devin Booker? Do you not? If you don't, I need you to write a dissertation with your message to explain to me why that's not a thing. But because, duh, right? And speaking of bubble play, I need somebody to let me know why the Rockets thought it was a good idea to rest Westbrook on his first day back. He missed 2 games with a slight injury, small, little something. Sat the last 2 games and just decided, we're going to put a cold Westbrook in with no James Harden because, we're at the top of the totem pole. And then what happened? They lost. Like, I get it. You want to rest him. That's cool. I understand. But James Harden has been playing, is warmed up, for all intents and purposes, warmed up, has played several games. Westbrook, 2 games, hasn't been playing, probably practicing, but not like anybody who knows, like gameplay and practice play, it's not the same, not even close, not even a little bit. So he's basically cold. So like, let me just break it down for you if you don't quite understand. So remember in the Mighty Ducks 2, when at the end, and they're having the shootout against Iceland, and they were trying to figure out why they took Goldberg out, even though he played the entire tournament, and then they put that other girl in. I can't think of her name right now. She ends up winning, which is cool, but that's not the story for the Rockets because they lost. But that was the point. Like, it doesn't make sense to me to put out a player, to leave him out there by himself. Now, the Rockets, they ain't no bums. I'm not saying that the rest of the team, it's only those 2. Not saying that. But what I am saying is, how do you take one of the bigger supporters for that team, for that team, and just say, just take a nap. Just have a little sit down, and we'll let him, cold legs and all, do it. And the rest of them, I mean, maybe it's just me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. You can't. They lost. I'm just saying. It didn't seem smart. Didn't seem smart to me at all. I need you guys to tell me what you think. The Suns are a force to be reckoned with in the bubble. I also thought it was really nice that they let their families from outside of the bubble announce the starting lineup. That was just so special, because we have to remember, guys, that this is hard. Like, this is their job, but like most of us, myself included, who are quarantining and still working, I get to be home with my family. I don't have to be away from them. I get to see them, maybe a little bit too much, but they are here. I get to see them, and we have to understand that is hard for them. I even think it's kind of weird watching the games. I mean, I like to watch basketball, but I think it's too quiet in there. It's weird for me. But that's just me. If you feel the same, cool. If you don't, also cool. You ain't gotta watch it with me, but I think it's weird. So anyway, guys, that about wraps it up for me today. Like I said, I am your host, ChucTayyy, with RETV Sports. You can catch me here every Thursday, just kind of talking junk and, spitting facts. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.